The views, opinions, and representations expressed on the Kagos Radio Network and its website are those of the host, guest, and participants. UFO Talk Radio can, but does not necessarily promote any particular lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only, and they are not intended to treat or diagnose and/or claim to cure any disease or condition, or give any medical or legal advice. All music is purchased and owned by LGA Broadcasting.
I got the windows rolled down, got the radio up, and I'm heading out of Vegas tonight. And it's a 1:30 on a 4-day run, and the desert is a welcome sight. I can see you there in that dress you wear, and it's keeping my foot on the gas. I'll drink a gallon of Joe just to make it back home and hold you in my arms at last. There's a full moon shining, lighting up the highway like a beacon to you. If I can make it on time, past some moonlit state line, and roll a diesel right on through. Well, my lids are heavy, there's a blue and white Chevy, and it seems these are right on my heels. And I'm leaning in the bar stool, I can't drive this slow, yeah, you know how it feels.
Are you ready? What you are about to experience is real. Right along with us. From deep in the desert of Nevada, The Glenn Larry Show.
And may I bid you all welcome from all over the world. I'm sending this message to you. We love you. Thank you for tuning in, whatever time zone you might be in. All my friends, my ham operators, Worldwide Radio Club, all the K6RCL and Galita, all my night drivers, radio affiliates, we thank you so much. The small broadcasters, AM, FM, little small broadcasters, actually who they are, they're part 15. They have little stations all over the country. They're having fun in radio, and we do love radio. You know how much I love radio. Thanks to all of our friends out there on Facebook and YouTube and our friends that are subscribing to us. We do thank you. Do like us. And don't forget about the other channels that we have, kghostradio.com, UFO Talk Radio, Midnight Talk Radio, goes on and on. Just go to our website. You'll see all the different sites that you can go on and hear our shows. Archives is always good at YouTube. We're everywhere. We do thank you again from all over the world. We thank you. Chris and Barb, actually Neil and Barb, and Chris and Barb up here. We thank you for listening. Neil and Barb are in London, England. And of course, Kennedy in Florida, Randy in PA, and of course, Jonathan Tex, Chief in Avondale, Chief Hall. He might be doing some fun stuff real soon. Yes. And may my prayers go out to my buddy, it's Rob's wife. And I might pray for her. She's went through an operation, so we're praying to make she get her well fast and heal up fast. To Chris and Val and to all my friends out there in Canada, I hear you. I see you. Yeah, you tuned in earlier this time. Yeah. We do thank you for listening to the Sunday Gospel Show, which is on Sundays on I believe it's on goodspringsradio.com. And yeah, it's going quite well. We're getting a lot of folks listening from all over the world for that. We have Pastor Deb comes in along with Monica, used to background sing for me years ago on the Elvis shows, but she's a great singer too, has her own band. As you know, the Hager girls, they're good. Want to thank a lot of folks out there. Of course, don't forget about the Pioneer Saloon, doing a lot of good things out there. They got what they got going. Let me just grab this real fast, because I'm just excited about telling you about this. They got that Fallout thing coming. Yeah, it's November 14th to the 16th, the Fallout fan celebration. Oh, and is it fun? The Fallout game. Yeah, where they're making a new movie, and they're doing a lot with that. And boy, the fans show up out here. So be a part of that. Get your tickets. Get a hold of the Pioneer Saloon. It's Pioneer Saloon, I believe it is, .com or .org on the web, and look up their site. It's all there. The numbers are there also. It's going to be a big event, yes. And coming up, we have this coming up May 3rd, Saturday, from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. We're going to have the Good Spring celebration, the Good Spring Society, Historic Society. Get it out, Larry. And they have a breakfast there from 8 o'clock to 9:30. It's the Miners Breakfast, and it's by donation only, but the food's fantastic. They get in and cook really early. A lot of stuff going on all day long. And I'm telling you, it just from lunch to the museum being open. They have the mural, brand new mural. We're going to unveil that, of course. Steve Darnell over here, you've heard of him, Welders Up. He has his own place up here now, and he's going to be doing some fun things with us. So we're all looking forward to this coming up Saturday, May 3rd, from 8 o'clock to 3 p.m. So 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. It's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a cool Saturday for you. You got to take it in. Man, these little towns have cool celebrations. Yeah. Boy, we sure had a neat time when we had the Mardi Gras thing, we had the parade and everything. And I was never had a parade like that before. It was unbelievable. And I'm telling you, we want to thank the Pioneer Saloon for that. They're all their efforts, and they really do a lot for this town. It's kind of a fun place to go. You know, I go there and I see the spirits, and maybe have a few. Moving right along. And by the way, we do thank you, Steve. For more information, get a hold of them. The fun times, of course, is 702-674-6809. And that would be the Pioneer Saloon for information. Yeah. Ray's came by today. Ray's honey. Hey, honey, here's your honey. No, Ray's a good friend of mine, and his buddy there brought me some honey to give away on the radio. Mm-hmm. And it's right here. This is it. Bottle right here of honey. And it's Arizona, Nevada raw honey. And this stuff is good sugar. Oh, it's honey, of course. And you know what else it's good for? All sorts of stuff. Look up the book about honey, because it's got some miracle stuff that can work with honey. And it's good for you, too. Raw honey. Very good. They thought of us. I was out for many years. Maybe actually 1 year. 1 year and 4 months. Maybe to be exact, yeah. Well, he's going to be coming back again. A lot's been happening. A lot has been happening in the skies. We've been busy out here doing things. Doing a lot of recording. Doing a lot of music work. You're also cutting back the weeds again. Here they're coming back. May have a couple of storms coming in and leaving. Then we're going to have some real hot times. So I'm trying to get everything ready to go for the summer. You know how that happens. If you live in hot areas like Arizona and Nevada, it gets hot. I'll tell you for sure. And you know that we've talked about that before. Yes. Yeah, a lot of UAPs going on. I'm going to put my glasses on because I don't want to miss this. From UAPs to UFOs, of course, USOs. They're being seen all over. Mexico's having big hot spots happening. And, of course, this group called the Sky Watchers, CE5. They have big groups everywhere. And they're really seeing a lot of lights in the sky, I tell you for sure. And it's all over the place. These things are showing up. Big balls of light. And I don't know. It may be sooner than we think. I don't know. I'm waiting to find out. This Dorothy Izett story came out again, 1974, out of Vancouver, Canada. She filmed years ago a craft, and she saw beings in this craft. And she's apparently kind of telepathic, and she also asked them to turn the lights off kind of around the craft so they get a good picture of the beings inside the craft. And that happened. She actually got a great shot. A bit grainy, but it's been retested and come out to this today or yesterday that again it's proven to be the most unbelievable real pictures of like aliens inside the craft. And I think you've probably seen it on the net. It's out there. There's a whole new story out about it. There's an old news reel about it and some new guys talking. And I actually read that story. I read this story today. And I thought it was kind of fascinating just to talk about. Imagine that. You're up there, you zoom in with stuff we have today. She had an old camera, film camera. And my gosh, the cameras we got today, we could zoom right and get all that. That'd be nice. That'd be fascinating to find out how that all works, of course. I'm trying to take a caller. Caller, you're live on the line. What's your name and where are you from? Hello? Hello, caller.
Hello?
Yeah, caller, you're on the line.
Hey, how's it going out there?
Hey, we're doing just fine. You're live on the line. We're talking about UFOs. And what's your name and where are you from?
My name is Charles, and I'm from Texas.
Charles from Texas. Can't be Charles H., is it?
Yes, it is, Claire.
I love it. Oh, my gosh. Well, they had a sighting in Texas just recently, I believe in Austin, Texas. When it was on your local news. Did you happen to hear anything about that yourself?
No, I haven't.
Well, I tell you, it's happening. We don't know if it's fake AI or whatever. I've had a lot of folks comment and feel that it is AI, but sometimes you just can't tell. Do you have a television on, sir? We're kind of getting a little audio out of you.
I do.
Can you turn it down a bit, sir, please?
I can.
Oh, okay.
How's that?
All right. Well, listen, we want to thank you for your call. Keep in touch, and if you can, give us a call back. All right.
I've been trying. That's why I called. I hate to be on the air and interrupt your show.
No, you're
but
fine.
Give me a call anytime. It'd be great to hear from you.
You got it, Charles. Be well. God bless and be well, my friend. Thank you kindly.
Thank you, Larry.
Bye-bye. Great guy.
Bye.
I worked at aerospace with him, Delta Electronics, NASA, and we worked on a lot of programs for that U.S. program for the space shuttle. And we worked. He worked there. He retired. I got out kind of early, about 10 years. I got out of there, so that was a lot of fun. 8 to 10 years, I believe it was. And then we went to work for Michael. Yeah. Time goes by very, very fast, and my goodness gracious, it's a little crazy. And you're saying, what happened to that 30 years? Another hot spot is Alaska. The Gulf of Alaska has been big lately. A lot of sightings up there. They've been from square-shaped UFOs turning around and then doing odd things in the air and then just drifting off into space. Have you seen a UFO lately? Have you reported anything lately? Anyone report to MUFON if you can. They're right on the net, easy to find them, and they'll take your report and gladly interview you, I'm quite sure. And they want real ones now. We don't want the AI. You know what I'm saying? Make it real. So they're out there, and you're going to see more and more, and it's happening. I think it's going to be faster than we think. Everything else that's going on in the world, they've kind of drifted away from this whole subject. And now it's popping up again, and, we got stuff going on overseas, the economy, and this and that, and, it's news, and the mainstream doesn't really report a lot about the UFOs, only when something really big happens and they can't stop it. Like the Phoenix Lights, something like that has to really wake them up. They go, oh, okay, now we'll see, But I hope that they open their minds, are able to do more about reporting these UFOs. And the more you let them know, the more they might re-report it. So if you have something that you're going on, give them a call. I hope it stays in the sky for one time to get there, though. Sometimes a little slow. But I was talking about Ray's honey. Here. Again, if you call us up, and I'll make sure to check this one of those too. A jar of this wonderful honey, beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. I love it. And we'll send you out. There's my PO box. I'll give you my email address. Let's do that. It's Glenn Leary 51. That's Glenn Leary, GLENNLARY 51 at gmail.com. You send me your address and your name that you heard this broadcast, and we're going to give it 2 days. So I have a little bit here. As much as it stays, we'll send it out to you. UFOs, USOs, UAPs. The world is seeing them everywhere. Well, we just talked about Alaska, but Oregon's had a couple. In Eugene, Oregon, there was a couple of sightings just this last week. You can go to, I believe it is the MUFON website, and they have and the UFO Research Center, Sighting Center. They'll tell you all about that. They got everything you can find. The last reports, what's new. That's what they're doing, and they're doing quite a good job about it because they're serious about it. This is a serious matter. This is real. They are real, and who they are, there are a lot of them are ours. Then you got, of course, the SpaceX thing going on, and of course you got the all the satellites up there. But those are do funny things from big dots to small dots, doing weird things so fast. That's not ours. This is no way, no way. Um, Unless they develop something way in the past, what they're bringing out now, which is we think is futuristic, but might have happened back in the 50s. They built this thing. Who knows? Very, very crazy. Lights in the sky, crazy stuff. Stephen Greer has that group I just talked about, and but there's private groups everywhere, and I know that you can find them uh, by looking for these groups on the internet, and they'll gladly let you go out with them. I don't know if they have a fee for that or whatever, but do the night sky watch. Yeah, the sky people watch for them. We'll be back right after this.
There's no typical meth user. I was from an upper middle class family. Meth is terribly addictive. My first time using it, I was hooked. There was no turning back. I lost my job. I was homeless. I never thought I'd see my family again. I have a great fear of meth because it took so much of me. I mean, it took everything. Meth took over my soul.
Visit our website at drugfree.org. A message from the Partnership for a Drug-Free America.
Violence, theft, drugs, graffiti. It's all part of joining a gang. In times like these, we need to protect our children and our community from gangs. Gangs often prey on unsupervised teens with low self-esteem, who perform poorly in school, who seek a sense of belonging, or are simply bored. Joining a gang often involves violent hazing rituals. Once in a gang, members can become alienated from their families, school, and friends. Drugs, guns, and malicious activity are common elements in gangs. Trying to leave a gang can be a difficult and dangerous process. The best way to get out of a gang is never to join one. Protect kids from being recruited by a gang. Know who they're hanging out with. Involve kids in after-school activities and provide positive role models. Help reduce gang activities in your community by working with local law enforcement and school systems. Don't let a kid you know get involved with gangs. Visit ncpc.org to learn more or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
They've been seen everywhere. From the 40s on down to where today we are today, even the 1800s, they were reported of UFOs. This is nothing new. These aliens, are they friendly? I mean, the small ones, you got the grays, and you've got the different types, the lizard ones and what have you. boy, I get all the reports. It's fun. You know, you've read all this stuff before. There's not much really new out, but what I've told you today, there's new sightings. But I don't. The Texas thing. I looked at that and I'm going, no. I think that's AI. You can be fooled. You know, I know that the government and whoever out there are just giving us little drips and drops of information from these crafts, but I don't know. Man, you're seeing pictures now of aliens. They say they've had for years, and that's coming out. There's got to be some real program that could be shown to everybody of these aliens and these crafts. Now, I've seen stuff like this that's up here, and I've seen even better ones. There we go. Here's another one. Here's pretty cool. Of course, I do. There's one I've seen a couple of those happening. That could be a comet, maybe not. This is my favorite poster, of course, and I got this in my office. And I really do want to believe, because the one I saw was just like this one here. Yeah. Then I saw the big mothership, huge. I'm talking huge. It was dark out. It was a summer evening, overlooking the golf course. I looked up, and the sky was like these beautiful stars, like rocks. Just pick them out almost. But I noticed there was a cluster of stars, bigger than 2 or 3 football fields. Imagine way up there. It looks smaller, of course, but they were moving all by themselves. All those stars moving by themselves, very slow, but moving, while the other stars were still. Now, to me, that's the mothership. You think? You think? We're going to start taking some callers. How's that sound?
To talk with Glenn Larry, deep in the desert of Nevada, lines are open at 1-702-874-1114. That's 702-874-1114. Pahrump lines are open at 775-990-8275. That's 775-990-8275.
Well, our phones are open, and I want to hear your stories about anything that you have. A story about UFOs. What do you think was in the news now? I had a gentleman back in the day that actually had called in. This is early in our programming. And apparently his wife had disappeared in the car. There was a light over this car that he had, and the car shook. And I mean, it was just so bright, apparently. I think what he said was a greenish type of light. And I've had his story on the air. I don't know if I still have it here in an archive in front of me, but I was shocked of the story. It was like unbelievable. And yeah, it was pretty bizarre. I had Stephen Gibbs on years ago, time travel dude, and he explained that could have been someone being picked up from a time machine, and it just got caught up in this energy, and it was they were taken. I don't know, man. Hello, caller. What's your name and where you're from? You're on the air live.
Yeah, Woody. I'm calling from Henderson.
Hi, Woody.
And just got a real interesting thing I was reading a little while back. UFOs have been around forever,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as long as there's recorded history, it's in the Bible. Ezekiel saw the wheel, and in India, the sky people came down and taught them things. Anyway, there was a thing I read that in Massachusetts in like 1640 there was a sighting of these people were like lost time and everything. They thought they'd rode across this fen, and when the lights in the sky disappeared and went away, they were back where they started from, but they swore they had been someplace
somewhere else
Well,
in time?
they thought they had been, rowing downriver, but they hadn't been.
Oh, really?
And they were missing a couple of hours. They were transported back to where they first started seeing these lights in the sky. The governor, and I can't remember his name, of Massachusetts, actually wrote it up in his memoirs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's 1640, right around there. I mean, like, the colonies had just begun,
Yeah, right. Huh.
So I thought that was really interesting. But you know that the government knows all about this stuff anyway.
Oh, I totally believe you. I mean, that's a
But,
given.
they just can't come out and say, "Oh, aliens are here," because it'd be too big a shock. So we're going to get a little drib, a little drab. They've now started to admit that there's things in the sky they can't identify, and
Right.
it's probably not of Earth. And in another 2 or 3 or 4 years, we're going to get another little dose of oh, here's what they are. And, probably over the next 15, 20, 30 years, they'll finally admit there's aliens here. But they just can't come right out and say it now. I mean, everybody freak out.
Too much to lose. I see more stuff being developed and scientists, inventors doing things about energy. And that seems to be pretty cool stuff that's going on, free energy, jet energy. What's fascinating, from magnets to unbelievable sources of continued motion of energy. And have you noticed that yourself in the news lately? A lot of that.
Oh, yeah. We're hydrogen's coming out again now. Now it's going to be another. But yeah, free energy. People are starting to talk about Tesla again, the man, not the company.
Right.
And how he just proved that you could draw energy out of the air, out of the sky, and transmit it.
Yeah.
And use it.
Yeah.
But there's no money in that.
Yeah, that's the big oil companies. They're stopping all that. They don't want you to develop anything that, even if there's a battery out that's smaller than a quarter, it has energy in it, and would last 3 to 4 or 5 years. Now, imagine that came out. Oh my goodness gracious! And running vehicles on water, even that's just incredible. There was a car out there years ago. I was watching Jay Leno, and this car would run on any type of fluid. Yeah, unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, speaking of water, isn't that where most of the, particularly in Alaska, aren't there lots of films now or some film of spaceships just coming up out of the water?
Yes, in fact,
out of the ocean.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So they've terraformed or built something in the Gulf of Alaska that.
Well, they think there's a base there also.
Oh yeah, but they can't be bad for us, because if they were bad for us, if they were here with evil intent, they would have done it a long time ago.
Yeah.
So it's got to be some kind of observation or experiment, or like we go on safari.
Right. Well, a lot's drumming up, the Middle East and all that stuff. Lots happening. And they seem to come around when there's that type of energy. They could take our nukes out in a heartbeat. They've done it already. They've taken them out.
Well, was it the one base they actually landed at in England?
Yep. And there's
in the mid-60s, wasn't it?
Right. And there's another one where apparently these rockets were taken off and they were doing experimental stuff, and apparently that the UFO shot a beam in it, different directions, and took it out. Destroyed it. And they have that capability. I don't think, we need to.
I don't think that's for our benefit. I think that's for theirs.
Yeah.
Who would want? They don't want to be here when there's a nuclear war.
Well,
it's as bad for them as it is for us.
Yeah. Think what that does for the universe when that happens. All that energy going different areas, and man, it must be weird for them, Yeah. I'm waiting. I think something's happening. I feel something's going to happen. I really feel that it's, I've had this feeling for almost a year now. I spoke about it before.
Yeah,
but
it's soon, but I think it's going to be a little bit out there. They gotta give us a few dribs and drabs to get us used to the idea.
Like water drops. We'll give you a little bit here, a little bit here, not a little bit more,
Exactly.
They really have got it under control, I'll tell you for sure. Well, caller, thank you so very much for your call, and we appreciate you. We're going to open the lines up more.
Thanks for having me, Larry.
Love
Thanks,
to have you.
appreciate it.
You've got it, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you kindly.
To talk with Glenn Larry, deep in the desert of Nevada, lines are open at 1-702-874-1114. That's 702-874-1114.
And we'll take this other call here. Hello, caller. You're live on the air. What's your name and where you from, please?
Well, hello, Glenn. This is Barbara calling.
Well, Barbara, how you doing? We're talking about UFOs tonight.
I did. I sure did. I was just going to call and check in and let you know that we got the girls back together for our, our little UFO meetings and such.
I was hoping that you called.
It's good to hear your voice, Glenn.
Well, thank you kindly. I really appreciate it. Good to hear my voice. But
so we get the girls together, and we had last week we got together, and because we're all back in town now. Anyway, we what we do is we for the week we get together and people print out things or things that they've heard, and my contribution was in Austin, Texas. There seems to be a lot of activity out there. Have you heard about this, Glenn?
Yeah, I just talked about it, I think, earlier in the show. Some are saying it's a real thing. Some are saying it's AI.
AI? What
artificial
does that mean,
artificial intelligence.
Okay.
I don't know. They do so much with film these days. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Well, what happened, Glenn, was we have family in Texas, as you know. I've told you, and I do have a sister in the Austin area, and she knew I've been interested in the UFOs and whatnot. Anyway, she did send me a picture of it looks like a light in the sky. It's above the bridge area. I guess there's a famous bridge in Austin that everybody goes to because there's bats. Have you heard of this, Glenn?
No, I haven't heard about the bats.
Well, evidently there's bats underneath this bridge, and at night or right at dusk, they fly out. So it's kind of a tourists go out there, and it's a nightly thing, I suppose. Anyway, since there's people there, and everybody's taking pictures and video of these bats, and lo and behold, I guess there was a sighting in this area, and quite a few people did get it on video.
Wow. And when they got that on video, what else did they see?
They saw a lot of, there were several different, evidently there was 3 lights, and then they were converging in one, and then one was evidently circling around the large light, the large ship or whatever, So this is the type of activity they had.
Wow.
And evidently a lot of people did see. It wasn't just one person, Glenn. It was a lot of people on this bridge.
Yeah, it's a place to watch the bats.
I did look it up on social media, and I did find several people that were posting this.
I saw some of it earlier today, and there were a couple places in Texas that saw these lights. So it just wasn't in that area. But, some were calling it a B-net type of UFO of lights swarming together. but then coming into one, and now you've seen birds, hundreds of birds shift and go different directions. You've seen that, have you not?
Yes,
Yeah.
I've seen. I mean, on the Nature Channel, and these types of things. I've seen that, and I think I've seen it, in the wild too. Certain birds that do that, Glenn, but
Yeah.
not lights in the sky.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Anyway, we got the girls together. It was nice to get everybody together, have a little wine and talk about our UFOs. It's a UFO talk group we have.
Yeah.
And we had a little theme, and of course Steve helped me. I really appreciate you, Steve.
Yeah.
Star Trek.
What about Star Trek? What's he talking about?
Well, we had a theme, Glenn. It was, we had to get together, a little party.
Yeah.
And hold on,
What-
Steve, play that.
What's he doing?
Yeah, we played the music.
He played the music, and
I don't know if you hear that, Glenn.
no, I can't. Nothing coming over.
Glenn, did you hear that?
No, nothing. No. We'll have to do something else. Do you dress up in Star Trek stuff? I mean, the theme and all that, or?
Yeah, it was fun. Steve dressed up as Captain Kirk.
Yeah, the gold triathlon and black pants and boots, and dressed up like Captain Kirk.
Well,
He
nice.
dressed like Captain Kirk.
Yeah.
And we had appetizers and this type of thing, and it was kind of fun,
Wow. That's exciting. My God. And now, when you guys, you don't do this all the time, but when you guys get together, this was a special night probably, which you guys did your little fun stuff with dressing up and watching the skies. And that would be a lot of fun.
Well, we just get together and just to have some fun. There's nothing wrong with that, Glenn.
No, there's nothing wrong with it at all. So how are the girls doing? Your group?
The girl, what do you mean? The UFO girls?
Yes.
They're doing well. We're just doing the kids, they doing our thing, Glenn.
Yeah, well, great. I wish there were more groups out there like that. I know there are a couple that go into the desert and do this, but that's a safety problem. I'm afraid of snakes and stuff, because snakes go.
Did you say snakes, Glenn?
Yeah, snakes. I can't stand snakes. Yeah. And if you're in the desert, because it's cold, they'll pick up your body heat and they'll strike you, So, I mean, yeah. I wouldn't want to be in the desert looking for UFOs. I'm not looking down at the ground, so you don't. I would have to be on a truck or something, or a bed or something to look up. Yeah.
Steve, put that down. Steve.
What's he doing?
He's playing the Star Trek song again.
Okay.
Steve.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, cool, man.
I can hear barely in the background, barely. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's cool.
Anyway, we have a good time. It's a theme, and we think about maybe one theme could be Star Wars, Glenn.
Yeah.
And just have close encounters, and we just have a different theme night for our get together.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. You'll have to take some pictures and send them to me.
I will do that, Glenn.
That would be
anyway,
fun.
I just called to check in and let you know that the girls are all back together, and we look forward to listening to your show and any other news that comes out of the UFO community.
Yes, we're collecting data, and it's fun to report this new stuff from Texas, and it's it's been scrutinized by a lot of people, and some people don't totally believe it. It's what it is, it's they're coming soon, So
right.
What would you do if they landed in your backyard, Barbara? What would you do?
Well, I'd want to talk to them, Glenn.
Yeah. Yeah. I would try to stay away.
Why not?
Well, they might, you get close to them and you also got radiation and all of a sudden you're sick, you don't know. I can hear him playing this music. He's He's really trying, isn't he?
He loves that song. The Captain Kirk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all fun. Barbara, thank you so much for calling.
Anyway,
good
it
hearing
was
from
nice hearing your voice. I was just checking in and everything. Okay. Well, have a good night
We'll do.
And tell everybody I said hello.
I will do. They can hear you. You're live.
Oh.
We got you.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you, Barbara. Be well. We'll hear from you again.
God bless.
God bless. Great gal. You know Barbara. She calls in and stuff, and it's a lot of fun. We'll get that number out again.
To talk with Glenn Larry, deep in the desert of Nevada, lines are open at 1-702-874-1114. That's 702-874-1114. Now, here again, Glenn Larry.
Right back. Oh, yeah. Remember back in the day when they used to have UFO magazine, and you couldn't wait to get the next issue because they had newer pictures we never saw before. Of course, this is in the 70s, and I think it was popular until the late 70s, and it went to something else. I used to have a collection of those, and one of my favorite shows were the Invaders. By Quinn Martin production, I believe it was. And I was always fun to watch and see that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I used to love that show. How about you? What was your favorite one? You're live on the air. Welcome to K-Ghost Radio. What's your name and where are you from, sir?
Well, it's Ken. I'm in Pennsylvania now.
Hey.
I'm out of Florida.
You're back, and you're back. That's great. What's been going on with you, Ken?
Oh, not too much. Well, just a lot of cold weather up here in Pennsylvania. It's miserable, raining, and getting ready for my class reunion this next week. And
how many years?
I figured I'd give you a call in. It was nice to talk to Barbara there when you had her on.
Yeah.
I just wish people out there would understand that these UFOs are real.
Well, I know.
You just gotta see one and get up real close to know what it is. I wouldn't get too close, though, but
right, yeah.
You know the rest of that story. If you get too
yeah.
close, you're going to get a little touch of something.
Yep.
You may not see anybody or know how it happened, but you're going to get it.
Yeah,
but,
you ended up with something in your back, and you don't know how it got there. And you had it
I
for
have
years.
no idea.
Yeah, that's fascinating. I think that you were taken and didn't even know it.
I don't know. I can't. I don't remember any lost time or anything.
For those just tuning in, this is Ken from Florida, and he had seen a UFO land. And go ahead, Ken, tell him a little bit about it, will you? Just to refresh.
Well, it wasn't anything real big. It had no lights. It was a metallic color, like a steel metallic color. The door was open on it. I did not see them open the door. Somehow that door come open, but when the military got there and they lit everything up, we realized what it was. Now, I had to stay hidden. I didn't want anybody to know I was really there, but
wow.
East Pennsboro police was there, and they got a damaged cruiser car out of it. It hit the papers, and everybody was out there for nights and nights after that, and they never got to see anything. But I'm going to tell you what, you're going to get something put on, you ain't going to want on you. You're going to think about it every day, even after I had it taken out of my back.
Right.
Every once in a while, that area just seems to itch, and it's just a weird feeling.
Yeah. When you got it out, did you notice anything different going on with yourself? Did you feel any different after that? did you ever feel paranoid or somebody's watching you or felt that you went places you did not go?
I told you the story. They were watching me.
Yeah.
And they weren't aliens watching me. It was kind of like the military had some people who kept track, and they come in my store 2 different occasions.
Mm-hmm.
And the second occasion, I said, well, I'm going to take you and show you right where it was. And they had a bunch of equipment. I couldn't tell you what type of equipment it was, but the area still had light radiation. And I thought if it had light radiation, would kill the grass and stuff, but this thing didn't. Whatever it was, it didn't. It was just something weird. You see, my mother didn't believe me, my brother didn't believe me, my father didn't believe me.
But they did.
Said, well, you don't need to believe me. Damn, I seen it.
Yeah. Yeah. Why would they want to know so much about you that, and they knew you were there. They're pretty sharp. That they,
I think they probably know I moved from up here,
right,
the military base down to Florida. And there was some strange stuff out there in that military base in the 10 years I lived there. Apparently there was one crash landed out there and they retrieved it. And what I can tell from the people that hunt that area, you don't go in that area. And the people that go in there get a weird feeling. They see a lot of dead animals. I don't know. I don't go back in there. I had enough of that kind of stuff. But why I'm up here this time, I'm gonna go out and take some pictures of the cemetery.
Yeah.
A lot of weird stories of the cemetery.
That's the one you told me about years ago, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. I'd love to hear more about that down the road when we'll do a story about that cemetery. Because it got a lot of history. Pretty
that's
strange.
the Moonshine Church.
Yes.
That's what they call it, the Moonshine Church.
I'll be darned.
Now, I can still get to the church, but most of the military base, they put wire and stuff around and guard houses and everything else. What for? I don't know. There's nothing there that I would go crazy over. Bunch of old planes and stuff, but they closed it off. The public can't get in there no more. Yeah, but people got to believe they're here, and they've been lying to us. They're going to continue to lie to us. Maybe Mr. Trump will let it out that they are real, but hell, he can't even get in Wrights-Patterson Air Force Base, and he's the president.
Right.
He may be able to get in, but he's not going to get down underneath of it to know what's really down there.
Well, they say Richard Nixon got in and took Jackie Gleason to one of those bases.
Yeah, he took Jackie Gleason in there. How he pulled that one off, I don't know.
I don't know either. But I don't imagine they drove in a car. Well, they probably landed at the base and then took a car there. But I can't see Dick Nixon driving Jackie Gleason. I can see him in the golf cart together, but yeah.
Oh, they say he's been there. I don't.
Well, it actually changed Jackie's life. He wasn't the same ever since it happened. So.
But no, you won't be.
No, you won't be.
You won't be when you realize that you've been lied to since 1947. I know you've been lied to because I've been to that crash site. They talk about Roswell in 1947. That wasn't one crash site. I want everybody to understand that was 2 crash sites.
Right.
The one they didn't get no aliens from, the second one they did. The second one was about 3 miles from the first one.
Do you think they still have the bodies, or do you think that the ship took these bodies back? I've heard a couple of stories. I don't know. J-Rod, I guess.
Well, they were taken to a funeral parlor, but that guy won't tell you where he buried them at.
Yeah.
The funeral parlor is real. It's there. Anybody that drives there.
Yeah, I heard the story about the little coffins and stuff. Yeah, crazy. Wow.
But nobody knows where they buried them.
No. It's a crazy thing. Well, Ken, thank you for calling us, and we appreciate you.
No, I appreciate your show because you're trying to inform people what's out there.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't want to believe what's out there. Well, they better believe it.
It's the real deal.
They better believe it.
Yeah.
They're there.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. A lot of folks that have gone through UFO experiences have also gone through spiritual, ghost, all sorts of stuff. It's very weird. I've got another caller. I'll take this call again, Ken. Thank you kindly, and we'll hear from you soon, sir.
Okay, you take care, Larry.
Bye-bye, sir.
Have a good one. Bye.
Hello, you're live on the air, K-Ghost Radio. What's your name and where you're from?
Hey, Glenn, it's Donnie, man. Do you remember me, dude?
Donnie.
Donnie, I used to call you, like back in the, several months ago, man.
I think, yes, it's coming to me now. Okay. Yes, Donnie, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good now. I just got back into town, man. And we're just having a little get-together at my house. And, because I was been out of town. I was in Oregon. Oregon, man?
Yeah, it's a state in America. I know right where it's at. Yeah, not too far from here. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was up near like Portland and Bend.
Right.
Oregon, man.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyway, I was up there for work. My buddy was opening a shop, and I was up there helping him. And, like a smoke shop. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, like a cigar shop.
But, man, a lot of people are into UFOs up there, dude.
Yeah, I know that. It's quite a hot spot up there around the mountain area and all that.
Where the pines and the mountain, like Bend,
the Three Sisters, they call it.
And Salem, like in the Salem area.
Wow.
They're really into it up there. Because before it was like a lot of, like the witches and stuff.
I think that's Massachusetts. That's a different state.
No, in Salem, I thought. In Salem, Oregon, no?
no. The witches were in Massachusetts. Salem, Massachusetts. Yeah.
Dude,
different.
Anyway, they're like really into it up there.
Yeah.
And they're really into the UFO stuff, man. And everybody likes to just, sit around and look at the sky.
Yeah.
And like lay down in the like in nature, look up. Everybody smokes weed too, Glenn.
Yeah.
And everybody gets kicks back,
right,
and watches the sky for UFOs. It's like a hobby.
Well, if they're high on pot or marijuana, whatever it is, how do they know what they're
marijuana?
Yeah, how do they know if what they're seeing is real, not just an illusion or some type of a stone deal you're going through? I mean,
well, it's pot, Glenn. I mean, it's not like mushrooms or acid or something. Now, if you're taking mushrooms or acid, maybe you might see something. And it's not really there.
Yeah.
But just smoke, token a little weed and
gummies
nature.
Or maybe some gummies, huh? Does that work? Gummies too?
Yeah, man, you're right. Gummies and weed. I'm not a big edible fan. I like to get, I roll my joints. You know what I'm saying? And I smoke weed.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're back in town, and your show is on the TV over here. The old lady had her. I said, oh man, it's Glenn's show is on.
Oh, thank you.
And I thought, well, let me give you a call. We just got to get together here, and everybody's just kind of, partying and stuff. Because I'm back in town. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're back. You're in Vegas then.
Back in Vegas.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah.
So are you working in a smoke shop now, or are you going to work you were doing some type of restaurant? Something I thought.
Well, I was working at Amazon, and then I had to resign to go help my buddy open his smoke shop.
That's what
I'm not working yet. Maybe I'll go back because I left on good terms.
Yeah. I mean, are you working there? Do you get high in there? I mean, do you guys smoke?
Yeah, I told you that, man. We were like, put the headphones on. It was real cool. They were really cool about it.
They were. I imagine your buddy. Yeah. Are they very busy? I mean.
They're always busy, and they're always looking for people. And I got experience, so I'm probably going to go back and say, hey, remember me? It's Donnie, because I got like a couple of like awards and stuff.
Oh, you did. They gave you an awards.
For like being real, fast and concentrating on my task.
Steve, do you like cut the bud too in the growing room? How's that work? I mean, you bag it. I mean, it's quite a process, I guess, to raise pot and make pot now. But I guess.
Are you talking about?
Harvesting?
I'm talking about Amazon, Glenn.
Oh, Amazon. Okay, I thought we're talking. That's okay. I'm back to Amazon.
No. I was helping my buddy with his smoke shop in Oregon.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
But I don't know. You know what I mean? Now I'm back here.
Okay.
But
Good.
everybody's partying. Hey, I like that song, dude. Hold on. Good song, man.
Yeah.
Hey, fire it up. Yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm on the phone, man.
Yeah, that's the old. That's an old song from actually the late '70s. I think it was the Byrds, maybe.
Yeah, I'm on the phone, man. I mean, I really like that song, dude.
Yeah.
But, dude, man, hey, that's my joint. Dude.
It's obvious you're at a party.
Sorry, man.
It's obviously that you're at a party, my friend. So you got to having fun over there, huh? You there?
We are. Anyway, man, I just wanted to call and tell you I was back in town. And,
Hey, Johnny.
and to tell you about the UFOs. And I'll be listening to your show, man.
Hey, we appreciate you, man.
Right on. And all the good stuff, man.
Yeah, well, you're back in town. I hope you do call back. You're a lot of fun to talk to, Donnie. And,
have a good one, Glenn.
All right, be well, buddy. Thanks again.
Take care.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Well, I'm telling you, it's a lot of fun on this show. We do it all. We do it all. It's a lot of fun. I'll be back right after this.
Mom, you wanted to talk to me?
The calendar hypnosis into thumbtack cushion, completely tailwind. And sewing elephants plant before cartoon paper cups. So numbers renovate.
If your teenager is trying drugs or alcohol, would you know the right words to use?
Afterward, lightly fish scale. Doorbell.
Find out what to say at drugfree.org. A message from the Partnership for a Drug-Free America.
Violence, theft, drugs, graffiti. It's all part of joining a gang. In times like these, we need to protect our children and our community from gangs. Gangs often prey on unsupervised teens with low self-esteem, who perform poorly in school, who seek a sense of belonging, or are simply bored. Joining a gang often involves violent hazing rituals. Once in a gang, members can become alienated from their families, school, and friends. Drugs, guns, and malicious activity are common elements in gangs. Trying to leave a gang can be a difficult and dangerous process. The best way to get out of a gang is never to join one. Protect kids from being recruited by a gang. Know who they're hanging out with. Involve kids in after-school activities and provide positive role models. Help reduce gang activities in your community by working with local law enforcement and school systems. Don't let a kid you know get involved with gangs. Visit ncpc.org to learn more or contact your local law enforcement agency.
A message from the U.S. Department of Justice, National Crime Prevention Council, and the Ad Council.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. Oh, my goodness gracious. What a lovely time we had with everybody. Members, every Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And again, we want to thank you. And for those folks that hopefully you'll stop by the Good Springs and check out our little town. A lot of fun stuff going on up here. Spread the word about K-Ghost. Like us, subscribe to us on, of course, YouTube, and, of course, Facebook. We do thank you again. I am Glenn Leary. I want you all to have a wonderful, wonderful week. We'll see you next Wednesday. Oh, yeah. I can't wait. I can't wait.